Welcome back to the Lady Flames Softball Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Annie Cory. She's Tori Boyd. Tori, we're getting down to crunch time here. Only 3 more CUSA series remain until the CUSA Championships. And Liberty, they have a target on their back, still holding that number 1 spot, but things are only going to get more and more intense now.
3 is crazy to think about. It has just flown by. But you've seen in the past couple series, you said it, Liberty's got the target on their back with Middle Tennessee State and New Mexico State. They were just trying to pull a win off of Liberty any chance that they could, but you've seen it. It's going to be a battle, and you've got 2 of the top 3 in the conference down the line to play, so we're going to get into that too.
Yeah, and so this past weekend against New Mexico State Liberty, they had their bats going in the first 2 games. Was it game 1, you score 5, game 2, you score 10, you shut them out, a 10-0 run rule win, but then game 3, you just have a slow start. New Mexico State, again, they have the mentality of, we want to get out of here with at least 1 win. They rally in the 6th inning to be able to pull it off.
Yeah, and you really look, you said 6th inning, both games, Middle Tennessee State and New Mexico State, the 2 losses that Liberty had, they didn't score until the 6th inning. So we know that their bats are capable of getting hot late and they could rally, but you really put a lot of pressure on your pitchers early when you don't score until then. And I think that's where we saw a little bit of the home runs from the circle because there's that pressure. And I think also first game, Middle Tennessee State, I think they left like 7 on base, and then New Mexico State, I believe it was 9. So you're just leaving too many runners stranded out there and putting pressure on your pitching staff late.
Yeah, they left 9 on base. New Mexico State only left 3 on base. So with that differential, it's hard to win a game. But you talked about the pitching staff. And honestly, if you look at the overall weekend, I mean, it's awesome to see Kaylin Yoder get the shutout in game 2. Escobar was awesome in game 1. And Paige Bachman came in relief at some points too. So I know she did end up drawing the loss in the 3rd game, but she still came in and she performed when they needed her to. So that's got to keep you encouraged and confident because it's what they've been needing to see from their pitching staff at this time of the year.
Yeah, they've got that perfect 3-headed rotation. If you look at the past, I think about 50 innings that they've shared, 65 strikeouts. So you're getting that from everyone. That's what you needed to see. And then also for the Liberty lineup, some of these batters that had been a little bit lower when it came to average, they're really starting to come through here in April. And so you're seeing everyone start to kind of step up as we get closer to the end of the season.
Because for a little bit there, it was the Rachel Roof show.
Yeah.
You know, she was just hitting balls out of the park, left and right, RBI city. But now it's like, hey, Savannah Woodard is having herself a great season.
Yeah.
Bryn McManus as well. Like, what she's doing at the plate is really special.
And we got to talk to Paige Dorr, too. And, you know, it had been a little bit slower for her. She was still having a steady season, but really starting to break through and lead the way in April. And those 2 that you talked about, as we go down this lineup, it's going to need to take production top to bottom. So really, if you keep Roop and Madrey going, it's just not going to stop.
Yeah, and you talk about Paige Dorr, too. She's on a 12-game hitting streak right now. And I feel like there's times where you're like, oh, she's been a little bit quiet lately. But then they're like, she's on a 7-game streak right now. And it only kept going and going. And I feel like every game now you're on watch. Like, Paige Dorr's got to get one and keep that streak rolling. But a lot of other Lady Flames, KK Madrey, what she's doing right now, she's approaching a pretty cool record. That would be awesome to see her overtake. Tell us about that, Tori.
Oh, creeping in. I mean, the single season record for stolen bases right now is 41. She's got 37. And in her last game, she had 3 stolen bases. She's done that plenty of times before this season. So as long as she gets on base in the next series a few times, which she does often, I think we could see it broken either this upcoming weekend or next.
I know, I see. Selfishly, because I'm not working the games this weekend, I have to be at the tennis championship. I'm like, why don't you just hold on a little bit longer, KK? Because I want to see it. But you got to do what you got to do. Just go out there and break that record, girl. This season has been monstrous, the way that she's improved and progressed on the base paths.
Yeah, I think it was like 26 and 17, and then now I think she's at 37. So when you look at those 2 first seasons, still great seasons for anyone, but she's almost got this year what she had in the first 2 combined.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And that's just ridiculous. And a
Yeah.
lot of it, is being able to get on base, which she does so often. On base percentage, usually in the 400s, which is insane. But just ridiculous speed. We see it on base and in the outfield.
Yeah, and so it could be like a combination too of the OBP and then also like she's spent a whole year in Conference USA now. She knows all the catchers pretty much at the plate, and she probably feels like more confident than ever this year. Like, hey, I can steal a bag right here.
Yeah, I would too, and especially knowing that so many of your hitters behind you can do a job and make sure that you're not going to get doubled up. I think that also gives her a lot of confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. It's awesome to see. It was also really fun to see Liberty's win over UVA. That was last Tuesday, a walk-off win. It was just epic. I mean, those games against UVA, we talked about it on the last episode. Like you were saying, hey, this is going to be a sleeper game. You know, this is going to be one to watch. And it was tight all the way through. Taking the lead like both teams were, and it was one that it had you sweating late.
Yeah, you kind of think like both staffs have really good pitching, but when you look at the offensive lineups, you just know that neither one of them are going to let the game really get away from them, because both of them have a lot of those gritty at bats, and they'll get back late in games, and so it was that back and forth. But I mean, we know it. Brooke Roberts. She came through.
That was insane. And hey, like UVA is just outside the top 25. So it was I feel like after Liberty had dropped those games to Virginia Tech, you kind of need a game like that where it's like, we're going to face a team that's right on the brink of that top 25. We want to keep our ranking up there. It was a really great win just to get, especially in the way that you do, fighting late.
Yes.
Eden Bigham comes in and you're able to get a few runs off of her and rally late. And Paige Bachman comes in relief and earns the win. So just a great overall team victory. And you mentioned it, Brooke Roberts. I mean, those got to feel so good, those walk-off wins.
Oh my goodness. That electricity, especially at Liberty, you're at home. I mean, you could just tell everybody rushed the field.
Yeah.
Just over the years, we know that Liberty has struggled with UVA, even though they have kind of set themselves apart as a powerhouse in Virginia. We know that UVA is good, and that was special for the Flames.
And it was
sure.
a packed house too. I mean, those
it
in-state
was.
games, it was packed in there. So it was awesome to see, and Brooke Roberts is the one who won it with a walk-off. We're going to talk to her right now. Brooke, thanks for the time. I know you guys are catching up on sleep from your New Mexico State series, so we appreciate you being here. My first question for you, every time I see you, you're just in the splits. You just can't stop doing the splits. And, I know you just made the transition to first base this year, but were you like a dancer before, a gymnast? Like, where does that come from?
I did dance, cheer, and gymnastics, but mainly gymnastics before. But I've just always been like hypermobile. It's just like a thing I've been gifted with. I don't know. And I didn't actually try to do it. It just happens.
It
just
happens.
Awesome.
Wait, because that's what it looks like. It's like you're just reaching for the ball and then, the splits just happen.
Well, most of the time I just trying to stretch for it.
Yeah.
So just sometimes my cleat doesn't catch the ground.
Exactly.
And then I just fall.
Well, it looks awesome.
Getting outs too. And you talked about dancing a little bit. I mean, we've seen your dance moves when you get on base. So now it all kind of adds up.
It all
makes
adds
sense.
up.
We get it now.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that transition a little bit more, like from second to first base. I know I was talking with your coach, Casey Fagan, and she was like, hey, I mean, it was honestly a pretty easy transition from our end of things. Like, it was pretty natural for you, but could you just talk about what went into that?
It's more of fielding with the glove. The glove's different than like actual fielding itself, because at practice every year we just rotate around positions anyways.
Yeah.
So it's more of the glove, but it helped last year that we caught with first base gloves, and I was a catcher last year.
Okay, yeah.
So, but yeah, it's just fielding it and finding the pocket in a bigger glove. I was like, how do I catch the ball, like know where it's at? But it was pretty easy for me, like she said. It was kind of natural, but yeah.
And being an infielder already with the coverages and stuff, did it help that you were already pretty aware of like all of your bunt coverages and that type of thing?
Yeah, that helped a lot, especially being at second base, because second base and first base like coincide. Like whatever first base does, second base has to do.
Yeah.
So I like already knew that side of it rather than going like short to first or something like that. But yeah, I think it helped a lot.
Yeah. What was your primary position growing up?
I've never really had one.
You just kind of bounced around.
Yeah. I started as a catcher, and then I was an outfielder, and then right before, like a year before I went to college, I was an infielder, and then I got recruited as an infielder, and then I got here, and then we were like out of catchers, so then I was like catcher infielder again. Yeah. And then this year I've played a little bit, or I haven't like in game played a little bit, but in practice they've put me back in the outfield a little bit. So I don't know.
And all the time, I know coaches will tell young recruits, it's important, obviously, that you can be put anywhere, and it's your bat that's really going to be it. Is that what you've seen so far?
Yeah, it's way easier to be in the lineup being versatile. Like, you're just like, like coming into the season, it was a lot of talk about, like, you're going to be in the lineup, but we don't know where. And then it ended up being first base. But, yeah, I like playing any position. I like hitting a little bit more, so it doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah. But take us through your upbringing. Like, how'd you find the game of softball? Did you have family members that played?
Well, my dad played baseball a lot, and my mom played softball. She always tells me she wasn't really good, but she did play. Yeah. And then my brother was playing baseball, and then so they decided to put me in softball, and I was like, I like this way more than cheerleading, because I'm not a girly girl. And I was like, I hate cheer. My mom cheered and wanted me to cheer too, so I was like,
Did you cheer like competitively or just like
a little
like
bit.
At school?
No, like more competitively.
Really?
I didn't really do school. And then my dad's like best friend was Roy Halladay. He was a professional baseball player. So my dad like loved like seeing that. My brother went to some of his games and stuff, but yeah, I just chose it over every other sport. I played every sport for a really long time, and then my mom was like, okay, it's time to decide, and I was like, okay, softball.
That was quite the name drop there with Halladay, just like casually his best friend. That's pretty cool.
I remember reading that early, like on your bio. I was like, wait, that's not casual at all.
My
that's awesome.
brother played baseball with his oldest son.
Okay.
And then my dad and him became like really close and stuff after that. And then
that's so cool.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Have you always been kind of that spark plug kid? Like, is there any professional athlete that you kind of mimic when it comes to just like that high energy, fun style of play?
No, it's just like how I am naturally.
Yeah.
On like a day-to-day basis,
awesome,
like when I see my friends go, I'm just always like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it doesn't come from anywhere. I just know that me and the coaches had a lot of talks this year that like the team feeds off my energy. That like if I'm not coming into the game with energy, we're just gonna have that energy that day. So I really try to keep it up there. Even in like hard times, like I just really try to. It's just something that I cling on to. I think it's like one of my best assets. Like if I can't have a good game that day, I can be here for somebody and like lift them up. So like that's what I try to do.
Yeah,
it's fun to watch.
Yeah, does it take caffeine or candy or anything to get to that point?
Not really. It's like natural dopamine. I'm just kind of crazy.
It's just how you are. Yeah. That's so fun. I love it.
Natural sugar in the veins.
Yeah, yes. Exactly.
Sometimes it takes like an energy drink to like get me going if it's like a rough day.
Yeah.
Like, probably Thursday after our travel this week, I'm gonna have to get something.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's like second on the team in that department to you? Like if you guys were together, it's probably a little bit dangerous because of how energetic you guys are.
Well, okay, nobody knows, but like KK is like really energetic. But me and her are roommates, like that's my best friend. So like it just happens that way because if me and her see each other, like.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah. But like if KK's not with somebody like that, she's just standing there not talking.
Yeah.
So, like,
but you're like, I know the real KK.
Like Savannah Watley, she's a big energy person too. I think that's the person that probably matches the energy the most is Savannah Watley.
Yeah.
Or like Yoder, but like only if she's in the dugout. If she's pitching, she has to be locked in. So.
With Madrey, I know we've always heard that pregame, she's always got to have her Skittles. If she doesn't, like if they go on a road trip and she doesn't have her Skittles, does that fall on you to get her Skittles? Like,
oh no, I've never heard of her not having her Skittles.
So I never have it.
Yeah, we would like walk around the dugout and you just see a big bag of Skittles and you're like, oh, those are KK's. There they are.
I'm like, who has them on standby in case she forgets them? Like,
I don't think she'll ever forget those.
Does she protect them? Like, are they just for her, or are they kind of team Skittles?
I guess they're just left out there. I don't know. I've never seen anybody else eat out of it. I just think everybody knows that they just sit there.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's awesome. I love her.
Yeah. What are your road trip essentials?
My parka, whether it's cold or not, because I use it to sleep on the bus because the bus like gets like when you're laying it like gets into your neck, and if you just have your fluffy jacket there, it doesn't do it. That and my beats. I need my beats to like stay locked in, and my face paint.
And
I forgot them one game this season. And well, I keep one black one like in my bag, but I forgot my colorful ones that I use every game. I was like, guess I'm gonna have to just wear black today. Like, that's so boring.
We can't have that.
That's phenomenal. It's got to match the energy.
Exactly.
Always.
Yeah. So did you ever play with Devin Howard at any point? Because I don't know if you guys were ever on the same team at Central Florida, or did it never like line up?
No, it never lined up. I think she was just 1 year too old to ever play with me. Cause so she went to my rival high school.
Yes. Okay.
So my freshman year was her senior year.
Okay.
And then she went to CF, and then I went to CF, then she came here, and then I came here. But she ended up playing 3 years here before I came here. And now I have a third year to play here, so.
Yeah. That's awesome. And then what was the decision like to come to Liberty? Like, what put it on your radar?
I think it was really, really, really easy for me to come here. They called me first. I don't really know why. I don't know if it was because of Devin. I don't know fully the details, but they called me. And then the first person here on the phone's Coach Shot, like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, oh, okay, hey, what's up? And then Coach Fagan called me, and she's just awesome. And then I had other visits. It just didn't feel like at home like the other visits I went on. They're like, oh, you have to make a decision right now. Like, and I just want to talk to my family. But after I came here, Coach, he was just like, no, I want you to know, like, you want to come here. Like, go everywhere, do anything that you need to do, and then tell me if you want to come here or not. And I was like, yeah, I want to come here. Yeah. And it's hard coming here and then going on other visits because it's beautiful here. So, like, I went here, then I went on a visit to a school in Arizona, and I was like, the dust.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a little hot out there to play softball.
But I'm like, it's just, like, brown dust everywhere. And I came from here where it's just like green.
Beautiful green trees.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm going there.
It's a good spot.
Like, me and my mom didn't even talk to each other. Like, after we went on my other visits, like, and stuff, me and her looked at each other, and I was like, I want to go to Liberty. And she was like, I knew it.
And I know it's hard to do anything else other than college softball and school. But when you guys are able to have a little downtime and any rest at all, are there things around here that you love to do?
Well, a lot last year we played beach volleyball and pickleball and stuff like that. Now me and KK just hang out all the time at home. I mean, her boyfriend's like on the football team and stuff, so like now we have a lot of time, but in the fall we didn't. But like, we like to go watch games. Like, we like to go watch basketball and football and women's basketball and stuff like that. Like, pouring back in. Yeah. Because people come and watch us, so I don't want to, like, you know.
Yeah.
But
either. Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, absolutely. And then you mentioned Coach Dot and how it was just like top-notch energy from the first time you met her. Do you have any like all-time Coach Dot story for us? Like a moment that you're like, I don't know, that just sticks out to you? Gosh,
there's so many. I feel like I told her the other day that I'm probably the most like her on the team, like energy-wise, and she's like, you're the most like me? Are you serious? Are you sure? I was like, oh, I don't know. I was like, wait. Probably my favorite moment. So she just does whatever she wants when she wants to because she's Coach Dot. So last year we went to Oklahoma, and they just had a new field built. And instead of just like, oh, like, let's go see the field, she was in a van and she drove down a walkway like people walk on. It's not for cars, with the van, and drove onto the field as it was still being built. And like, the security guard came out and was like, you cannot be doing this. You cannot be on the field. It's not done. It's the construction done. She's like, oh, okay. Like, I just want to see it.
If you are a part of the complex, this did not happen, and she's not liable for anything. Please don't.
And then there's just stuff like that all the time. Like last year when we went to New Mexico, she just drove us to the border just to do it.
Just
and
That's
we're just
so
like,
good.
okay. Or like ice cream trips, she has to do those. She's just.
What's her flavor that she gets?
Oh, there's not one. It's just whatever floats her boat that day, and then she gives it to me because apparently I need to eat more.
Okay. You need more sugar, Brooke. I think you're lacking in the sugar.
She already talked about when you guys make it to Oklahoma that she knows like a whole spread of anything that she would eat. Oh, she's already got like meals in mind.
Yeah, was it Olive Garden that she was like obsessing over? I forget. We were on a call with her once. I don't know if you were on that.
We get Olive Garden like once a week.
It was like chicken marsala.
Chicken marsala, that's what it was.
Yeah. She loves chicken marsala.
We get Olive Garden all the time. We all
the
love
time.
Olive Garden. Yeah, we love that place. Yeah. My last interview, I talked about Olive Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, and their salad.
Feel free to talk about it.
Well, it's awesome. And then I told them that I give my sister the croutons and all the toppings because I only eat salad and dressing.
Really?
Yeah.
Like just like at Olive Garden, that's all you eat?
Well, no, I get soup and salad.
Okay, yeah.
But like the salad, I don't put the toppings on it.
Yeah,
like,
you just
veer away.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, I understand.
You need to think about cutting a deal maybe there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Because even when I'm home, I'm like, Olive Garden.
Yeah.
I'll eat you anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get it going. So talk about this season. Like, I mean, it's been a pretty special year for you guys. You have played unbelievably up to this point. I know you have big aspirations. So what was the energy coming into the season? What was it like? And then how's it feeling right now?
Well, coming into the season, it was like, let's go get it, because I don't think Liberty's ever had this many returners that's like started from last year into a season and like already had the like chemistry that we all had and like love and like want to play for each other that we all had from last season, and like the fight that we went through together at the end of last year coming into this season. And like our coaches have been telling us a lot this year that this is like the best softball team that they've ever had. And like we like really try to like know that and be like, okay, like we are the best softball team that's ever come through here, so like let's act like it. And I think we've carried that through very well this year. Like, no, like we shouldn't lose a game to them even if they're ranked top 25. Like we are ranked top 25 consistently this year, so it's like and I think that we've carried that well through, that like we're going to a super regional this year and like we know it. It's not like, oh, like if we make it or we hope we do because we've never made it. It's like this year we're like, no, like we'll make it. Like,
And you talked about those top 25 teams. You guys played Virginia Tech, and then a team that was right on the cusp of top 25, UVA. I mean, what a game for you.
Yeah.
Talk about just that last at bat before the walk-off. Do you remember the count? What was going through your mind?
yeah, I remember the entire bat.
Yeah. Walk us through it. We want to hear about it.
I'm like photographic memory with nothing except for softball. Like I can remember like lineups as they're coming up. So everybody always asks me what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I know exactly what's going on. But that whole game, like we were fighting. I was telling them like we knew it was gonna be a dogfight. Like, and our pitching staff was doing so well that game, and everybody was really locked in and like trying their best. And I was proud of everybody because I wouldn't have even gotten that moment if we weren't in it like we were, because I mean Virginia is a really good team and they have been ranked in the top 25 this year, so like I took them as they were a top 25 team. I mean technically they're 26, they were receiving votes still, so I mean they're a really good team, and the pitcher that they ended up putting in, we faced her so many times, and she's a really good pitcher, but she threw me changeup out and I swung and missed really bad. But, like, when I swing the first pitch, normally I'm, like, okay in the at-bat. So I was, whether I swing and miss or not, it happens.
You got to get a good cut in.
If I just swing the first pitch and I'm aggressive, normally my bat's better. And then I think she tried to throw me another one. I don't know what it was. It was, like, rolling on the ground, so I took it. And she threw me drop out, which was my pitch last year. And then I missed that. And then she threw me drop out again. It was on the ground. So then I was 2-2. And I am, like, really odd with counts because like an 0-0 count I like having 2 strikes more often. I feel more comfortable. I don't really know why. I tell Coach Sammy this all the time and she's just like, I don't understand this.
She's like, it's not common.
And I'm like, I don't know, I just feel like my swing's better when I have 2 strikes. Like I'm more chill and simple. But I had 2-2 and then it was just flat and out. I thought they were going to throw me drop again out, but then it was just flat and out. So I just put a good swing on it. And I never hit anything backside, and that time it went opposite field. So I was like, okay.
You did, and it was good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How many walk-offs have you been a part of? I mean, I don't know if
I
you
have
remember.
no clue.
Yeah, you have no clue. Do you know at Liberty?
We'll have to look into that.
I only remember Roop's walked off like 3 times since I've been here. Because she's just awesome. But the only one I like distinctly remember a walk-off was New Mexico State last year. And she hit 2 home runs in our last 2 at-bats of the game. Yeah. It was awesome.
That is.
She's awesome. Me and her have the same birthday. We always tell everybody that, but I had to put that in there.
Yeah.
Love you, Roop.
It's a clutch gene for the birthday.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys both have it.
Gosh, yeah.
So talk about going into this week's games. I mean, New Mexico, you guys, first 2 games, I mean, you scored 15 runs, but then game 3, hard to get going ever. You know, you didn't get that early start like the other games. How do you bounce back from a game like that?
I think that we'll be fine. I mean, we just need to catch up on our sleep and stuff, but I don't think that is going to have a big effect on us. I think we still played well that game. I just think that we didn't make the adjustments that we needed to, but the 2 games before we made perfect adjustments. Like, we have to just take from the 2 earlier games. I think we take that we won the series, that we lost 1 game from it.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that's good. And going into this next series for you, your approach to the plate, what does that look like?
Swing at strikes.
Yeah.
As hard as I can.
But
I like swing on a good pitch.
I
try to be as simple as possible. If I think too much, it gets bad. Like, oh, what is she going to throw me? Like this, that, and the third. If I just think 3 words or less, like simple thoughts. So I'm like dead red, swing hard, something along those lines. It's never like, oh, I'm looking out, I'm looking in, only low and out. Like that gets too much for me. I'm just like, if it's there, hit it.
Yeah, for any young hitters that are watching this, I think that's a great approach. If you can just keep it simple and just keep your mind kind of at ease through your at-bats, that's awesome.
I agree.
And I guess wrapping it up here, 2 teammates that you could take with you on a desert island. Who would it be?
A desert island with nothing?
Yeah, just you guys. And, like, there's, like, coconuts and bananas, and, like, you can hunt, but, yeah.
Okay, so definitely Crane. I've been asked this question before. I'm definitely taking Crane. Me and her are both, like, little boys. Like, we would survive easily. But the last time I got asked this question was one person. I was like, yeah, me and Crane.
Okay.
But then I'm bringing KK because she's just going to be, like, the comedic relief. And, like, she's, like, really athletic, so she can help.
She can
like,
chase
if we
down
tell her,
any animal.
Yes, if we could
like,
tell her,
hunt.
she can help us. And she's, like, ripped anyways. But, like, if nothing else, literally, if nothing else, my best friend's with me. So, and I love Crane, too. She's, like, one of my best friends. I talk to her all the time, and we keep each other at ease on the field. But Crane, we can hunt together. We can fish. We can build. And like we're women that know how to change tires, you know. Like we're blue collar women, I guess.
I think that needs to be a T-shirt. Women that change tires.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm making one.
Yeah. Take it.
We'll wear it to the game. That'll be a women who change tires.
Yeah. And then the Masters just wrapped up. If your team had your own little Masters, who would win? Does anyone golf?
I'm trying to think. I feel like I hear people talk about golf like slightly. And I feel like it would be like, I feel like I heard Paige Dorr talk about it a lot. But I feel like she would be a good golfer for some reason.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to like get the softball swing out of the golf swing.
It is.
It's the worst thing ever.
I've recently tried golf now that I'm officially, retired. So it's been like golf and pickleball and now slow pitch. So.
Slow pitch is fun. Slow pitch is really fun. But I could probably drive it really far. I'm not sure about putting. Like that's the touch. Not gonna happen for me. But
like you said, you get in the box and you're just trying to hit it as hard as you can, right?
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all you can do. Well, Brooke, thank you so much for the time. We're excited to watch you guys the rest of the way, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
What a fun person to talk to, Tori. She's just a bundle of joy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you see it on the field, and it's the same. She's awesome to have.
Yeah, it's so great. Thank you, Brooke, for joining us. And now, Tori, we get a look at these CUSA standings. What's going on right now in Conference USA? Because like we said earlier, we're oh so close to Conference USA championship time. So right now, Liberty's still holding that #1 spot. But that 2-3, FIU and La Tech, I mean, they just played each other in a series. It was a close one, right?
Oh, my gosh. Every single game of the series came down to a fight. You look at FIU, they came out with the series win, but La Tech, that pitching staff, you look at Allie Lloyd, 153 strikeouts on the season. It's been a great season for her. But FIU, they've just got that X factor, a bunch of athleticism. They are able to fight back with the bats. I mean, I'm an outfield girl, but some of those outfielders, some of the plays that they were making over the weekend, I mean, next level.
Yeah, absolutely insane. And that top 10, I mean, it's close. You can drop a game to anyone at any given time. I mean, you look at MTSU, they were just here in Lynchburg, a really talented group. They're comprised mostly of these, like, powerhouse freshmen that lead their team. So they're one to watch come tournament time. And also New Mexico State, you just played them and you saw what a tough group they are. But I feel like the big test is coming now in that La Tech series and then that FIU series to close out the season. I mean, that's where I'm sure Dot Richardson is going to have her team absolutely locked in. Like, hey, hey, the tournament starts now.
Yes, and you got to score runs early. We talked about it. You can't wait until you're late in games because that's going to give your pitching staff confidence. And you've got a 3-person rotation right now that has been lights out. So you give them that edge on the mound. You give them a little bit of that security blanket when it comes to run production. And, yeah, they're going to be hard to hit.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, like getting those at-bats early and getting those runs on the board, because Liberty, where they hold the edge, is their production at the plate. I mean, no one in Conference USA has a batting average like they do top to bottom on their roster, so that's going to be the big weapon for them, right?
Yeah, you run well on the bases, so you're able to kind of get into people's heads and force those little mistakes. I mean, we even saw that a little bit with New Mexico State when they had the run rule victory. They're able to do that, and then they can take the ball out of the yard. We've seen that plenty of times, especially from Roop. So when you start to do that early in a game, it's kind of demoralizing. And so if you establish that, that's the tone that you're going to set from some of the first at-bats, it's going to be hard to compete with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we get into La Tech FIU, though, they do have Sam Houston starting this Thursday, a 3-game series against the Bearcats. They're 11-7 in conference right now. And, you know, I feel like this is a great challenge for Liberty to say, like, hey, our past 2 conference series didn't go the way that we wanted them to, because they like to get that full-on 3-0 sweep to end the day. But, you know, you got to battle. You got to fight for it. So I feel like they're going to come into this series with new energy.
I do, too. I think, you know, when it comes down to later season play, you know that you're going to have to scrap out some wins. I think it's kind of building them for that, for the postseason. You don't really want a cakewalk in every single game because you never want to get comfortable. Not saying that Liberty's done that, but I think they now have a target on their back and they've got something to prove, and so I'm excited to see what they do this series.
Yeah, a target on their back, not only in conference but also because of what they've been doing nationally. Liberty sitting at number 21 in the nation right now. Super awesome to see. But we also talk about these national rankings. Tori, there's some fun programs to watch this year. Texas A&M, they're at the top of things right now, and then Florida, South Carolina, Florida State, these Florida teams representing this year. Who's exciting you right now nationally?
I think a huge team for me that's excited me is Tennessee. I mean, it's easy, of course, with the hype of Carlin Pickens, and man, does she deserve that. But even their bats as well. And then I talked about it a little bit earlier in the season, but LSU also, I mean, seeing them, their athleticism, their speed, their energy, they're an awesome team to watch. And you mentioned Florida, but something in the water in Texas. For Texas and Texas A&M to be up there, those are 2 that, of course, they're going to be rivals. They're going to be competitive, but it's been awesome to see them. They've been some great games there. And Texas, I mean, so much talent.
Yeah.
So much talent.
Yeah, that World Series run, whoever ends up there, it's going to be so much fun to watch this season. We can't wait for it. Another cool thing that we've been seeing right now is the Athletes Unlimited Softball League. They've been handing out golden tickets to players. I think it's 15 right now, 15 players getting those golden tickets. They've been going to their games and handing them out, surprising them after games. A fun one to see was Emma Lemley, you know, a local kid to Lynchburg, Virginia. She got her own golden ticket. She was a little bit emotional. It's just a really cool thing to see these players being able to take the next steps in their career and take the game to the professional level. It's really awesome.
Yeah, I think, you know, she got to Virginia Tech and everyone knew that she was going to be good, but you're behind a pitcher like Keely Richard, who had one of the best careers that Virginia Tech had seen. And Emma Lemley, over the past couple years, has just really solidified herself as that ace. And I've raved about her on here before, but I'll say it again. That presence and her command of her pitches is just insane. She's one of the biggest competitors overall in NCAA, so I think they made a good choice with her.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the Texas teams, the Florida teams. How about these Virginia teams?
Yeah, come
and
on.
what they've been doing. Virginia is a softball state, and we love to see it.
Yeah, Virginia represent. I'm a native.
Yeah,
so I've gotta
Virginia represents out here. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us again. Liberty has a series this weekend against the Sam Houston Bearcats, and we'll get you all caught up the next time we see you. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Lady Flames Softball Podcast.